Hey, what's up, everybody? Gonna do a complimentary quad, man. Complimentary quad featuring various artists. First up, we've got Johnnie Winter covering Highway 61 Revisited. It's a Bob Dylan cover at the 2007 festival with the Derek Trucks Band as the back-end vocal. So that's our first track, man. And then followed by Gregg Allman with Derek Trucks and Warren Haynes, The Needle and Damage Done. That's a Neil Young cover, and that's at 2013 festival. Followed by Steve Winwood and Eric Clapton doing Had to Cry Today. That's Blind Faith, Steve Winwood cover at a 2010 festival. And then finally, Eric Clapton and the Allman Brothers Band, Why Does Love Have to Be So Sad? It's a Derek and the Dominoes cover done at the 2013 festival. So that's really excellent, man. All live tracks. So I'm really looking forward to that, man. Before I pop this off, I just want to give a shout out and a thanks very much to VMI Brett. Thank you very much, man. I gotta ask you what the hell VMI stands for. It's probably very obvious, but VMI Brett, thank you for the recommendation and also for including links. Very, very important, man. So, oh yeah, there's a little note down here. Eric Clapton and the Allman Brothers Band, the fourth track. VMI Brett says, how cool is this, man? Eric playing one of the Derek and the Dominoes' great songs with the band founded by Duane Allman and the great Derek Trucks, who was literally named after Derek and the Dominoes. All right, good info, man. Looking forward to getting to that. So that's our fourth track, though. So let's hit up our first track, being Johnnie Winter, Highway 61 Revisited. All right, man. Johnnie Winter, Highway 61 Revisited. Let's get it.
First picked up the guitar?
About 12.
Really? What led you to that, reckon?
I'd been playing ukulele, and I liked rock and roll music and the stuff that was on the radio at the time, and those people played guitars, so I decided to switch to guitar.
Can I ask you who you listened to mostly in them days?
Chuck Berry, Little Richard, Fats Domino, Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis, people like that.
Right now, I have the pleasure of bringing up Mr. Johnnie Winter.
How y'all doing?
Call Highway 61. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. God said, Abraham, kill me a son. Abe said, man, you must be putting me on. God said no. Abe say what? God said you can do what you want, Abe, but now next time you see me coming, man, you better run.
Effortless.
Abe say, well, you want this killing done? Guys on Highway 61.
Tell the other musicians are proud to be jamming with the legend.
John just said we had a bloody nose. Back in Papa, they wouldn't give him no clothes. He asked for how, where can I go? I said, ain't but one place I know. They said,
Excellent.
Rolling down when he was very poor, trying to create a net for war. Found a promoter who almost fell on the floor. He said, I've never engaged this kind of thing before, but yeah, I believe it can be very easily done. Put some preachers out in the sun and have it on Highway 61.
Would have been nice to do a back-to-back with the Bob Dylan original.
First started on the 12th night over. First followed that thing's very white. My complexion, she said, was much too white. He said, yeah, come here, step into the light. He said, yeah, you're right. Let me tell the second mother this has been done. Second mother was with the seventh son, and they were both on Highway 61.
Infamous Seventh Son in Blues. Seventh Son, selling his soul to the devil at the crossroads.
Max the finger said to Louis the King, I got 48 red, white, and blue shoe string. 1,000 telephones that will not ring. He said, I never reckon you'd rid of these things then. Louis the King said, wait, let me think for a minute, son.
Excellent.
Said, yes, I think it can be easily done. Take everything out the Highway 61.
Great Johnny Winter. How old is Johnny here, man? He's got to be pushing 80. Awesome. Awesome. Fantastic. Man, that was excellent. Great Johnny Winter. You are sorely missed by your fans, let me tell you, sir. That was great, man. Backed up by the Derek Trucks band, you can see just how happy they were to be jamming with one of their heroes, definitely. So, let's do a little background here, man. Oh yeah, and before I do a little background, do a little read, here's a note from VMI Brat about this performance. Evidently, Dylan came out with this song in the mid-60s, and Johnny Winter covered it with some success in '69. On the full-length DVD, you see them helping Johnny out onto the stage as he looks so weak and frail that you really have to wonder how he's going to be able to perform. And then he rips into the song, and all doubts are removed. It's also cool to see the next generation slide guitar wizard, Derek Trucks, react with such joy at the end of this performance from one of the previous generation's best slide players. Most of the time, you're lucky to even see Derek smile at all during a show. Okay. Yeah, man, he was definitely very, very jubilant. So, Highway 61 Revisited. Highway 61 Revisited is the title track of Bob Dylan's 1965 album, Highway 61 Revisited. It was also released as the B-side to the single, Can You Please Crawl Out Your Window, later the same year. In 2004, Rolling Stone magazine ranked the song as number 373 in their 500 greatest songs of all time. Influence of Highway 61. Highway 61 runs from Duluth, Minnesota, where Bob Dylan grew up in the 40s and 50s, down to New Orleans, Louisiana. It was a major transit route out of the Deep South, particularly for African Americans traveling north to Chicago, St. Louis, and Memphis, following the Mississippi River Valley for most of its 1,400 miles. The junction of Highway 61 and Highway 49 in Mississippi is said to be the infamous crossroads where bluesman Robert Johnson allegedly sold his soul to the devil in exchange for talent and fame. Fantastic legend, man. Cover versions. In '69, Johnny Winter covered Highway 61 Revisited on his second Columbia release, Second Winter. Winter's rendition is regarded as a career-defining track, and the song continuation as a staple of his live performances. And the song continued as a staple of his live performances. A 10-minute version of the song appears on his 1976 live album, Captured Live, and he also performed it live in '92 for the 30th anniversary concert celebration album, which saluted Dylan's 3 decades as a recording artist. Yeah, I just have to... What year was this that we just watched? It doesn't say, or does it? Let me just go back here and see. I'm guessing it was in the 2000s, wasn't it? Does it say? 2007. It was 2007. Festival with Derek Trucks band. Okay, so sorry, I lost my way here. So that was it. Wikipedia song fact info on Highway 61 and the famous Johnny Winter cover. And man, he didn't really miss a beat at all. So many years later in 2007, still knocking it out. Now, when did Johnny pass? I think he passed in 2012, I believe. He had to have been pushing around 80 or something like that, you know? And it's quite an accomplishment living that old when you were just living so hard and fast when you were younger. So quite an accomplishment just to live that long. All right, man. So let us check out our second track, and that is The Needle and the Damage Done. That's Gregg Allman with Derek Trucks and Warren Haynes. And that's at the 2013 festival. Neil Young's cover. Alright, man. Let's It's not a very long one. It's only 2 minutes and 38 seconds. All right, The Needle and the Damage Done. Let's get it.
I hit the city and I lost my band.
Standing O.
I watched the needle take another man. Gone, gone, the damage done.
Using the voice of Gregg Allman. This should be good.
Because I love the man. I know that some of you don't understand. Milk blood to keep them running out. I've seen the needle and the damage done. A little part of it in everyone. That every donkey's like a setting sun.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Oh man. One of those great voices that I wish, if I had a wish fulfillment, that's one of the voices, one of the singing voices that I would wish to possess. You know what I'm saying? Damn, man. Gregg Allman. Now, how old is Gregg Allman when they performed this? That's my question. He looks like he's in his late 70s here. And this was in 2013. And I can't recall when Gregg passed. But yeah, he looks like he's in his late 70s there. And, you know, can still stand on his own 2 feet. And he still has energy and he's still got a spark in his eye. But, and his voice is still intact, you know, he's still got that really, really nice kind of raspiness to it, but he's still got, it's got a freshness to it still, you know, it's not tired, you know, it's got a rasp and it can kind of flow, but it's not tired. That's what I like about his voice. That's what I like about his delivery in a lot of the songs. It doesn't feel anxious. Yeah, man. If I had a wish to have a certain voice to use for rock and roll and blues and to cover a wide range, Gregg Allman would be at the top of that damn list. All right. Let's do a little read here, man. The Needle and the Damage Done. The Needle and the Damage Done is a song by Neil Young that describes the destruction caused by the heroin addiction of musicians he knew, including his friend and Crazy Horse bandmate, Danny Whitten. In previews, the theme of the Night album that reflects Young's grief over the heroin overdose and death of both Witten and Bruce Berry, a roadie for Young and Crazy Horse. The Needle and the Damage Done first appeared on the Harvest album in '72. Rather than re-recording it, he selected a live version from January of '71 that had him singing and playing acoustic guitar. It appeared on the compilation albums Decade and Greatest Hits. Yeah, I did a reaction to the whole Decade album. On the handwritten liner notes included in Decade, Young had this to say about the song, quote, "I am not a preacher, but drugs killed a lot of great men," unquote. It appeared on the 2007 album Live at Massey Hall in '71. The album captured Young's introduction of his song, thus, quote, "Ever since I left Canada about 5 years ago or so and moved down south, found out a lot of things that I didn't know when I left. Some of them are good and some of them are bad. Got to see a lot of great musicians before they happened, before they became famous, you know, when they were just gigging. 5 and 6 sets a night, things like that. And I got to see a lot of great musicians who nobody ever got to see, for one reason or another. But strangely enough, the real good ones that you never got to see was cause of heroin. And that started happening over and over. Then it happened to someone that everyone knew about. So I just wrote a little song," unquote. Neil Young. Cover versions. Gregg Allman and Warren Haynes covered the song the first night of the 2013 Warren Haynes Christmas Jam, as well as in the second night of same year's Crossroads Guitar Festival. Okay. Yeah, man. And it goes on to list all of the references in popular culture. And I'm not going to list it, man. It's been described in everywhere. Lots of television and movies and gaming and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm just going to skip that list. Let's bounce to our third track, man. And that being Had to Cry, Steve Winwood and Eric Clapton. Gregg Allman. That was excellent, man. All right. Had to Cry, Steve Winwood and Eric Clapton. Had to Cry Today, sorry. Let's get it.
Steve Winwood.
Nice distinguished gent, always looking dapper. Always on guitar today. Another really distinct rock and roll voice, Steve Winwood. Who's the drummer? He looks familiar. That's not Ginger Baker, is it? Gotta get another shot.
I'm taking a chance to see the wind in your eyes while I listen. You say you can't leave me, but you want everything to be free. That's a crowd today. But I saw your face and I missed you there. But I have to cry today. But I saw your face and I missed you
Excellent jam. All right. Two living legends jamming. How sweet that was. Damn. Crossroads 2010 Guitar Festival. Man, that was excellent. Holy cow. Another fantastic, legendary rock and roll voice that I certainly would not mind having. Very, very distinct, awesome voice, Steve Winwood. Man, where it comes to Steve Winwood, I've sadly only done not even a handful of reactions. I remember, I think I did a triple shot, and then there was, I think Blind Faith was in a quad, and then there was an Eric Clapton with Steve Winwood guest spot, and Steve was on the piano, and now this. So I really haven't even scratched the surface where Steve Winwood is concerned. So yeah, man, I got a lot of catching up to do where Steve Winwood is concerned. Of course, I grew up hearing his 80s stuff, High Life Again, Roll With It. But then, of course, learning that no, he had a 70s career that was even more impactful, you know, with Blind Faith and then with Traffic, and then his solo stuff in the 70s. So, man, lots and lots to do where Steve Winwood is concerned. Great, great legend, man. So, had to cry today. Let's do a little background on that, man. See what we can learn about this interesting song. Okay, well, it's just all album info. Yeah, okay, so let's just read that. Had to Cry Today. Had to Cry Today appears on the album Blind Faith. But Blind Faith is the self-titled and only album by English supergroup Blind Faith, originally released in '69 on Polydor Records in the UK and Europe, and on Atlantic Records in the US. It topped the albums charts in the UK, Canada, and US, and was listed at number 40 on the US Soul Albums chart. It has been certified platinum by the RIAA. Yeah, hitting the Soul Albums chart, I would fathom a guess right now, it's because of the vocals of Steve Winwood. Definitely, you know, his vocals, man, just take you to another level. I'm betting you that's why it made the Soul Albums chart. Background. The band contained 2/3 of the popular power trio Cream in Ginger Baker and Eric Clapton, working in collaboration with British star Steve Winwood of Spencer Davis Group and Traffic. I forgot about Spencer Davis. Along with Rick Gretsch of Family. Sorry, did I pronounce that right? Gretsch? Grecch. They began to work out songs in early '69, and in February and March, the group was in London at Morgan Studios, preparing for the beginnings of basic tracks for their album, although the first few almost finished songs didn't show up until they were at Olympic Studios in April and May, under the direction of producer Jimmy Miller. Release history. The album was released on vinyl in '69 on Polydor Records in the UK and Europe, and on Atco Records in the US. Reception. Wow, there's a lot to say here. Commercially, the album charted at number 1 in both the US and the UK. Critically, Blind Faith was met with a mixed response. Reviewing in August '69 for the Village Voice, Robert Christgau found none of the songs exceptional and said, quote, "I'm almost sure that when I'm through writing this, I'll put the album away and only play it for guests. Unless I want to hear Clapton. He is at his best here because he is kept in check by the excesses of Winwood, who is rapidly turning into the greatest wasted talent in music." Why would he say that? What happened in Steve Winwood's career path that would give him that distinction? Let me know if you know your Steve Winwood stuff. There, I said it and I'm glad, unquote. Okay, Robert. In Rolling Stone, Ed Linebacker said of the quality, "Not as much as I'd hoped, yet better than I'd expected." Man, these critics speaking in parables. His colleagues at the magazine, Lester Bangs and John Morthland, were more impressed, especially Bangs in his appraisal of Clapton. Quote, "With Blind Faith, Clapton appears to have found his groove at last. Every solo is a model of economy, well thought out and well executed, with a good deal more subtlety and reeling that we have come to expect from Clapton." Unquote. All right. Retrospective appraisals have been positive. According to Stereo Review in '88, for 20 years, this has been a cornerstone in any basic rock library. AllMusic's Bruce Eder regarded the album as one of the jewels of the Eric Clapton, Steve Winwood, and Ginger Baker catalogs. In 2016, Blind Faith was ranked 14th on Rolling Stone's list of the 40 greatest one-album wonders, which described Can't Find My Way Home and Presence of the Lord as incredible, unquote. All right, well, that is Wikipedia song fact info on Had to Cry today. Excuse me, I got a damn frog in my throat. So, man, the vocals of Steve Winwood, man, I tell you. Yeah, I'm curious about that dub from Robert Christgau. What happened in Steve Winwood's walk that would label him as being a wasted talent? Is it because Christgau thought, by his own opinion, that Winwood would be best suited by himself doing his own thing rather than being in a collaboration? Or what happened? You know, there's got to be more. So if you know your Steve Winwood stuff, let me know about that. I'm really curious. All right. So let's bounce to our fourth track, man. So it's Eric Clapton and the Allman Brothers Band. Why Does Love Have to Be So Sad? And Derek and the Domino, it's a Derek and the Dominoes cover at the 2013 Guitar Festival. All right. Why does love have to be so sad? Let's get it. So Butch Trucks was still with us, eh?
Y'all please welcome Eric Clapton to the stage here.
So effortless for Eric Clapton.
Gotta find me a way, give me back to yesterday. How can I ever hope to forget you? Show me a place I can hide my lonely face. Keep me hard if I let you. Why does love got to be so sad? Why does love got to be so sad?
great heritage, great relationship heritage on stage there. Between Eric, Dwayne's history, and Gregg on stage, and the Allman Brothers, what's left of them. And then the Derek Trucks Band. Big family. Great tribute to the original. It's got a nostalgic buzz about it. Conversation here. Very up close and personal. The crowd knows exactly what they're doing. It's like that nice tranquil way that Layla just kind of segues off. Fantastic. Excellent. Excellent. Wow. What a great tribute to the original.